Hello and welcome to the second episode of my knitting podcast. My name is Dora and I'm coming to you from Keszthely, Hungary. Thank you for everyone who commented and reacted to my first episode. I know it was a bit it wasn't loud enough. So as you can see, I'm trying another setup. It's the same device, but I will try to talk a bit louder so you can hear it better. And the other comment I received, mostly from my family, that I don't smile enough. So now I will try to address that one as well. We will see. I have quite a lot of things to show you. I'm quite surprised actually, because last time I showed you my whisper wrap, and a lot of you recommended just to knit it. So because I was quite stuck with it, so I basically knitted this one monotonously, kind of. But we will get to that. So first, let's talk about what am I wearing. This is a Maeve cardigan. It's a pattern by Carrie Bostick Hoge. It is a quite unusual shape. It's knitted from cuff to cuff, and then you pick up stitches for this huge shawl kind of collar thing. It was one of my first knitted garments, what I did for myself, and it took me a while to finish. I knitted it like 5 years ago, and it is a repurposed yarn. So it used to be a knitted dress, and it is from my grandma. So yeah, this is what I'm wearing. Now let's get to my finished object. So first, let's start with this one. It is huge, so I don't think it will fit the screen. So I will try to open it slowly. So this is the width, I guess. It's about 60 centimeters. And the length this is only half of it. So it's more than 2 meters long. And let's show the right side. And it's upside down. So it has this lace detail with yarn overs. It's kind of see-through. It's silk lace yarn. I'm not really sure how I will wear this one, because it's so big. I don't think it's really warm. I plan to use it for summer dresses, but we will see how that goes. So as you can see, it is huge, and I'm so glad that I finally finished this one, because it was very long rows, because you need this one bottom up. So sorry, this is my dog walking around. I hope you cannot hear that. Okay, now he is under the table. Alright, so it's big, it's finished. It is a pattern by Purl Soho. It's called the Whisper Wrap. I recommend it because it is a very easy and straightforward pattern, but you will want to finish it faster than I did, because yes, it's about 800 stitches per row, so it's not a fast knit. The yarn that I used is botanically dyed silk lace yarn by Anna from Annás Kertje. It's dyed with madder, and I used 2 balls, which I don't have here with me. So one was a speckled one and one was a semi-color colorway. So this is why there is some variation in the color, because I changed the skein every 2 rows. So this is it. I hope that I can make some decent pictures for Instagram in the very near future, but it is huge, so I'm not really sure how I will do that. So if you have any ideas, I'm happy to hear those. My other finished objects are right behind me. These are the Easter eggs by Anna and Carlos. I actually managed to finish 5 of them. The pattern was for 12, but I ran out of yarn. I kind of played yarn chicken with many of these balls. Most of the time I won, but here I lost, so I ran out of the light blue yarn, so I had to replace it with this green one. It's fine. So I would have liked it much more if it would be blue all around, but this is just an Easter egg, so I actually left this up just for you to show it in the whole glory. So this was my Easter decoration. So, yeah, here you can see all the balls that I used, leftover cotton yarn. So this is why I actually ran out, because there were very little pieces. So, but I actually managed to knit quite a few. So yeah, I will wrap them up and pack it up, and then use them next year again. So at least I don't have to be afraid that they will break, so that's a good thing. So these were all my finished objects. As I told you, I almost monogamously worked on this one. But when I finished it, so today is Sunday, I finished it on Thursday. So on Friday I was kind of okay, I will have to start a couple of things. I have a test knit running, I have a call I wanted to participate, so I started a bunch of things. So let's get to my works in progress. First, the one you already saw, this is my Spark sock. It's a pattern by Andrea Mowry. It's the first sock almost done. Actually, I thought that I wouldn't be able to show this for you because I won't knit anything. I was up here when the last time I podcasted, but then with the other things I was kind of stuck. So, and I had a Zoom meeting on Friday afternoon, Friday evening. So I started to knit on this one, and the pattern is so easy. As you can see, it's a kind of an easy repeat. So by the end of the night, after about 4 hours of Zoom, I was up here. So yesterday I finished the toe and I started the heel. So it is an afterthought heel, and I have a couple more rows to knit here. and then it will be finished. And I have to start the second sock. The yarn that I'm using, I was talking about this in the last episode in a bit more detail, but the main color is from Regia. It's their 4-ply tweed sock yarn, and the contrasting color is from a Hungarian dyer, Yarn Dreams. I think I have the ball band here, yes. So this is her logo. It's a hand-dyed yarn, the usual soft blend, superwash merino and nylon. So it's kind of funny to show it this way because of the needles in the heel, but yes, I actually like the effect of this contrasting color. This is the second time I casted on this pattern. It was actually when it was released last November, I think. I bought the main color and a different contrasting color. It was a Zauberball yarn, you know, this crazy long color change balls, but the color changes were too long and the yarn was much thinner than the main color. So basically the contrasting color was lost. So I knitted a half sock up to here, I guess, and it wasn't changing a lot, so I didn't like it. So I decided to frog that one, and I was like, okay, one time I will find a better contrasting color and I will knit this sock. And I'm quite happy that I did. So this is very nice. In the pattern, Andrea used spin cycle color, which is very variegated and very interesting, kind of a hand spun yarn, but it is spun in America, so it's not very easy to get here. In Hungary you cannot get it. I could order it. There are a couple of resellers in Europe where I could order it, but yeah, it's pretty expensive. And I like to support Hungarian dyers because, yeah, they have to make a living too, and they have beautiful colors. So I'm very happy with this one. So yeah, probably I will finish this today, so I have a finished sock, and then I will start the second sock soon. But before I will do that, I have a couple other things. So I signed up for a test knit by Fibre. She actually has a lovely podcast. I highly recommend it. And in one of her episodes, it was maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago, I will write it on the screen and put it in the description box, as I will put everything I'm talking about, patterns, yarns, everything, Ravelry project pages and so on. So she showed in her podcast a new design. It's not that much. It's the color of the pullover. In the podcast and ever since, she refers to it as the basket sweater, but this is not the final name. So I will try to insert a picture so you can see how it will look. And this is not too much, but I have to wind up the second color, so I thought that first I will show you this much and the yarn in the skein, because then you can see it much better than in a ball. because this is kind of a special yarn for me. It is Norwegian wool and Norwegian yarn from Lesvåg. So these two colors are the Sol from the Sol yarn type, and this one is Tinde. This is the cognac colorway. The pattern is for a different yarn, but I couldn't get that one, so then I saw this one. If you know Inga from the Knitting Traditions podcast, she says this is her favorite yarn and favorite colorway, and it's quite close to the colors Lärke chose in her design. So I decided to use similar colors but a different yarn. So this is Tinde, and Tinde is dyed on a gray base. So they don't have very light colors in this one. So they recommend to use the other yarn, which is quite similar. It's called Sol, and it is dyed on a lighter base, so they can have this light color. The lighter one is color 413 and the darker one is 415. So this yarn is very rustic and sheepy. I hope that it won't be too scratchy. I'm not very sensitive to wool, so I even have an Icelandic sweater, but that one is a bit itchy, so I prefer to wear that one with something underneath. So I'm not very sensitive, but not like, oh, I can wear everything. So we will see, but I'm very excited about the design. It is actually my first big test knit. I did a small baby hat before as a test knit, so I'm quite excited. I think I have to finish the yoke and some of the body and one sleeve. It is a top-down pullover by the end of May. So I think I can do it. Maybe I can do the whole sweater until that, but it depends on how much I will knit on this one and how many problems I have. So yeah, I will show it in the next episode how it goes. Hopefully I will have much more of it, because now it's basically just a cast on. I knitted in about an hour. Then the next row I have to knit with this color, so I have to wind this up first. So basically this is why, and I had a couple other reasons to start a new show. So in the week after Easter, Carrie from Kis Kos, another Hungarian yarn dyer, started a call. We are knitting shows together. We have Zoom meetings and another kind of stuff. And this is her yarn. It's actually it's a Hungarian merino. I haven't talked about it yet because in Hungary we have a very interesting situation with yarn. We have quite some sheep, but not a lot of Hungarian wool and yarn, because there are not a lot of places where they can process the wool. So this is actually quite rare. It's a Hungarian wool, and it's dyed in Hungary with plants. I can't I can't remember which ones. So I have this. It's a beginning of the shawl. This one is the color Craze shawl by. Okay, I don't remember. I will write it up here. So Tamy Gore is the color Craze shawl by Tamy Gore, and this is nowhere close to the original colors Tamy used in her pattern. Actually, I wanted to knit this one since Emma from the Woolly Mammoth podcast showed her version. I will try to put a picture again so you can see how it looks and how hopefully mine will look. She used her own hand-dyed yarns, but again I decided to use something more local. So I have a couple colors from Carrie, from Kis Kos, which I forgot to bring. Just a second. So Emma used kind of a rainbow colors for contrast. So I decided to order these minis. These are not the same base as the main color I use, but it's very similar. This is called Highland 4-ply. These are 20 gram minis, all botanically dyed. So I will have to come up with an order, and I will use these as contrasting colors in the brioche sections and so on. So the call lasts until the end of June, I think, or something like that. So hopefully this will be much bigger by then. It goes quite fast now because it's just the beginning, so my rows are relatively short, but it's a big crescent shaped shawl, so with brioche and a bit of lace, so it will slow down a bit, but we will see how fast it goes. So these are all my works in progress. I have some acquisitions I wanted to show you. So beside the Norwegian wool I ordered for this test knit, I also had to order this main color recently for this shawl. I already had the contrasting colors. And when I ordered this one, I had to order some yarn pieces taupe from Sandman's Garn. This is also Norwegian wool. I ordered this from Carrie, from Kis Kos, because I wanted to try. She told me that this is also a kind of a rustic wool. She also only has non-super wash, no nylon yarns in her shop. So I like to try kind of everything she has. So I don't really know what I will do with this. She only had it in white. So this is the color 10 and 12. We will see. Maybe I will dye one of these to have maybe knit some colorwork mittens or maybe a hat or something like that. It's not super rustic. It's not that buttery soft like merino is, but I kind of like the feel. Maybe I could even wear it as a shawl or as a cowl or something, because it's not too rough. So this is what I got. And I also got a book. This is the Feral Weekend by Lina. It's a book by Mary Jane Mucklestone. It has a couple of feral patterns and it has beautiful pictures. A bit of a story about feral knitting, some sheep. So it's a lovely book. I don't know what I will need from it. It has a lot of beautiful designs, like this pullover. It has some color work, but not too many, because I like these all over color work cardigans and pullovers with feral patterns, but it seems like a lot to knit, and all the sticking and stuff. So something like this one, I'm kind of afraid to start, because then I think I will never finish. But yeah, there are quite some smaller things in the book. It is, as I think, all line publications. It has beautiful pictures. It's a very nice, stiff book, I would say. So it's forever, not that. So there is a lot of nice things in this one, and I also pre-ordered the 52 weeks of socks from, I think, last year, and 52 weeks of shawls. I can't wait to have those as well. Everyone says that there are very beautiful books, so I have quite some knitting books, but I never knit from those. So I was thinking that maybe I should start a call or a challenge to knit from the beautiful books we have, because I think I'm not the only one who loves to buy books. But as for knitting books, I don't tend to knit from the book itself, even though I always add them to my Ravelry library, so I can see the patterns there. I just always tend to cast on whatever is new and nice and shiny, and I see a lot of it on Instagram, and I never tend to open a book and decide that, okay, I will knit this one from this book. So let me know if you are interested, or if you have similar issues. So this is actually the last thing I wanted to show you. I was a bit sorry if I was a bit all over the place. I tried to do this differently from the last time. So last time I had notes and written up everything, kind of what I wanted to say, and it turned out to be a bit stiff and not too relaxed as I wanted to have it. So now I don't have any notes, I just have a pile of knitting next to me, and I hope that I did talk about everything I wanted to talk about and showed you everything I wanted to show you. And I hope that you liked this episode, and if you did, I would like if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see my next episodes, and you can also put on your notifications so you will never miss an episode. I will put all the things I was talking about in the description box. I will also add my Instagram and Ravelry accounts. I will post pictures about everything I'm working on Instagram. So if you are interested in my progress, you will see more there. I'm not really sure how often I will make these podcast episodes. I made the last one about a month ago, and I would like to keep this at least once a month, maybe once every 2 weeks, but it depends on all kind of stuff when I can record. So I won't promise anything about this. So I hope you liked it, and see you again next time. Bye!